What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Tim Sports Talk. And today we are going to recap the good old Baltimore versus Washington final preseason game. And it was, you couldn't ask for a more exciting game considering it's the third and final preseason game. No starters playing for either team, but Sam Howell made this game super exciting, so we're going to get all into this. But first, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and you can become a channel member or donate to the channel if you'd like to do it that way to support the channel. But thank you for just being here and watching. But let's get into this football game, and we're going to start with Sam Howell. Sam Howell getting his first start for the Washington Commanders, and he ends it with 24 of 35, 280 yards and a touchdown. He was sacked, they say, 5 times. It was really 4. One of them he got back to the line of scrimmage, even maybe gained a half a yard. They counted it as a sack. But he also had 8 carries for 62 yards. And oh my goodness. The total sack number could have been 8 or 9 in this game, and somehow he found ways to escape, and just a magician out there with his legs today. Or yesterday, I should say. It was so fun to watch. So many times I'm like doing the play-by-play, I'm saying, oh, and he goes, no, he escapes, and he's just running down the sideline, and he ends up getting at least, I would say, 4 first downs with his legs, including one that I believe it was on a 2nd and 12 or 13. So great day for Sam Howell. And these numbers could have been better than 24 of 35 because unfortunately there was a few drops. All right. Dami Brown did not have his best day today. He only had 2 catches for 42 yards on 5 targets. One of them, he was down the sideline, should have been a touchdown, and he reaches out, and he tried to one-hand grab it. It didn't work. But his real problem is when he got around the DB, it was cover 2, so the safety was over top. The corner was staying low in the flat, so there's that open part of the sideline in cover 2 that they were trying to attack. As soon as he got by the corner, he slowed down and turned around. Well, Sam Howell was leading him to the end zone, and he tried to recover a little bit too late, had a hand on it, and could not haul it in. There was a couple other ones he had. He wasn't looking the ball in. And so Dami Brown, well, he was a 3rd-round pick last year, so it's going to be really hard to cut him considering where you drafted him. And nobody really stepped up underneath. Because I think Alex Erickson was pretty much already a lock to start this, or make this team, I should say. Dax Milne, I think, is pretty much a lock to make this team as well. Dami Brown's going to make this team. But he definitely has to clean up some things. Because in college, he was known for contested catches. And unfortunately, he was not bringing them down. Last night for his old teammate, Sam Howell, the connection was back. And they caught one early, and you thinking, uh-oh, is this going to be a Sam Howell to Dami kind of game? And Howell tried. I mean, 5 targets to him. Just not enough catches for Mr. Dami Brown. Going to the running backs, and I was wrong last night. Jonathan Williams did not play because of an injury. I thought, because I was looking it up, I couldn't find an injury on him, but it was an injury designation, so that means Jonathan Williams is most likely going to be cut from this team. And Jarrett Patterson made a name for, hey, don't forget about me. I didn't do bad for you guys last year. I'm still here. And he went 11 carries for 47 yards. And it's just high IQ running backs, man. High IQ running the football. Understanding where the holes are going to develop, hitting the holes hard, and always keeping that thing high and tight, protecting the football. Gotta love what Jarrett Patterson did last night. And it's going to be tough for him to make the team, but it's also going to be tough to cut him. Does he do enough special teams? Like, does he block on kickoff return? I don't think he does anything in the punt game. And I don't know if he goes out there and tackles. So are you really going to keep Jarrett Patterson, a 4th string running back, over a 5th or linebacker or an 11th DB who could probably play punt, like Percy Butler, or like, who else was it? Jeremy Reeves? Like, these guys do punt block and punt return. They'll do kickoff return. I just don't think, unfortunately, Jarrett Patterson's going to make this football team, even though I like the little guy. It reminds me of the muscle hamster, Doug Martin, right? The little small little guy, or Maurice Jones-Drew. They just find a way, but unfortunately, he's not quite the athlete those two other guys were. Those guys were actually true speedsters and actually had a lot of athleticism to them. Jarrett Patterson is not quite as fast, and yes, while he's a great runner of the football because he understands the position, unlike Antonio Gibson, I still think he unfortunately misses this team. Reggie Bonifon, Juan Gotti called him Bonfire. It was hilarious. But he had 10 carries for 24 yards, but he did have the touchdown for two catches, 19 yards and a touchdown. He actually started this football game over Jarrett Patterson. I don't think either one of these guys make the team whatsoever. I think we're only going to end up keeping 3 running backs, and that's, of course, Brian Robinson, Antonio Gibson, and J.D. McKissick. It's just so tough because I think we're going to end up keeping 26 offensive players and 24 defensive players, but we'll get into that another time. Continuing on this game, the Ravens did their thing, all right? They had a 22-game win streak on the line, and they make it 23. It was 17-15, of course, for the Ravens. And Huntley only played a couple of, maybe 1 or 2 series. And this guy, I believe it's Anthony Brown. Yes, Anthony Brown came over 15 for 19, 256 yards, and a touchdown, including a beautiful pump fake 67-yard touchdown slant and go. Little sluggo out there. And that was a problem for us on defense. Okay, they had several big plays on defense. You can see a 50-yard play to Victor, a 67 yards to Robinson, of course, 24 yards to Oliver as well. Robinson should have had 2 touchdowns and didn't get his second foot in bounds. He didn't realize where he was, I guess. But honestly, Robinson should have had 2 tugs. Percy Butler, dude, you're a 4th-round pick. Why in the world are you, as a free safety, jumping on a slant? There's a corner already there. DeJuan Neal is already there for the play. Why in the world are you, as a safety, jumping on that? You're the one who left the back of the field wide open. Everybody's looking at number 37 because he's the closest, like, hey, what are you doing? No, that's supposed to be a safety over the top. And Percy Butler's jumping and nowhere near the play. Percy Butler, yes, he's a rookie. He's got some growing pains to do. But him as a free safety right now is not in the cards. He is nowhere near starting because this was all night, as I said. Several times there was guys open downfield. So not a good look for the secondary. Of course, these are all backups, but the starters didn't look great the last couple of weeks, and the backups don't look anybody. There's nobody really back there that says, hey, I need to make this football team, right? Because Benjamin St. Juste did play, and he did get a PBU on a big 3rd down. Danny Johnson also got a big PBU on 3rd down, but he also got beat on one of the big plays. I believe he was the one that Victor caught the ball over. So, Danny Johnson, I think he makes this team. He does a lot of special teams as well. He's been here a while, knows the system. I think we're going to probably end up keeping a lot of DBs, honestly. Because, of course, Percy Butler's going to have to make this team because we just drafted him in the 4th round this year. They're not going to cut him. Neal's gone, of course, but I think Christian Holmes makes this team. He looks solid. More of a zone corner, rookie out of Oklahoma State that we drafted in the 7th. I think he makes this team. I think Jeremy Reeves came up big tackle for loss on the running back on a 3rd down play. That was huge. Jeremy Reeves, as I mentioned already, he does a lot of special teams. So I think he's going to make this football team. It's going to be interesting. A big problem right now is Joey Sly. All right. We've had 2 missed field goals in the preseason. All right. There's not a lot of things that you can take away. Oh, he did great and you think it's going to translate. But when somebody does bad, it could definitely translate. And 2 shanked field goals this preseason when he only had, I believe, 6 attempts all preseason. So missing 2 out of 6, way too many. That's only a 67% percentage made. You want him high 80s, right? Or mid 80s at the very least, but high 80s is better. And then if you can get over 90s, that's obviously Justin Tucker kind of numbers. Not good enough right now for Joey Sly. Joey Sly has the leg. The guy could kick farther than 60 yards field goals, right? It's just accuracy. Like when we were at FedEx Field, he attempted a I believe it was like exactly 60-yard field goal, and he had the leg. I mean, that thing could have been good from 65, but he missed it right. I don't know. And the thing is once kickers starts missing field goals and it starts getting in their head, they have to be a special breed to not let them affect it long term. So hopefully he can clean it up. All right. So overall, I thought it was a good performance by Washington's team because we moved the ball quite well. All right. We only ended up with 15 points, but I believe we were in the red zone 5 times yesterday. We could not put them into the end zone other than one time. And that's kind of a product of you don't have your rookie Cole Turner. You don't have your best red zone threat in Logan Thomas. You don't have John Bates. You don't have Cam Sims. Cam Sims didn't play. Those are 4 of your big guys that are supposed to be your red zone targets. You don't have any of those dudes, and that's clearly a product of what's going on a little bit. But it was also penalties. Like Toth got a bad penalty on when we had a 3rd and goal from the 1. That should have been an easy touchdown because we were just moving the ball nicely. Instead, we get 5-yard penalty, and then Sam Howell gets sacked. So now we're all of a sudden at 4th and 10 when we had a 3rd and goal from the 1. That's just not good enough, right? But again, these guys are probably not making the team. Bad penalties. It sucks. It is what it is. All right. So I liked what I saw. It'll be very interesting to see who makes this team. Ron and company have a lot of tough decisions to make. But you guys let me know what you liked about the game. Who did you want to make this team that really popped off the screen to you last night? You let me know down in the comments below. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Also, in the description below, there's a Discord link. Hop on our Discord link and come talk some football with us. Also, you can donate to the channel or you can become a channel member. We had 3 channel members come on last night. The first 3 of the channel, Watubi, Bod, and Tiho, all joined the membership, and I really appreciate you guys' support. So if you don't mind, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and become a member. And I will talk to you next time. And until next time, see ya!